You really are very easy to follow. I should say that I'm sorry I startled you, but I'm not. Mm, It's a little bit petty of me, but you really hurt my feelings. You know that? I can think of plenty of good reasons why you would want to protect yourself from my charms. I get it. I mean, it's just pragmatic. You don't have to go away and think about what you really feel about the things that I say. You can react in real time. And frankly, it's kind of interesting to see someone react in real time, face to face. Be displeased with me. That's never happened to me before. Well, except for my mother. But you didn't tell me. You didn't trust me to tell me. And I thought I'd been pretty upfront. I thought I'd at least earned a little bit of good faith. I need us to be able to trust each other in order to do this. I realize the stakes for you may be life or death, but for me, they're eternal. So, I thought about why you might not trust me. And it occurs to me that you might think that I am just trying to lure you in and get you someplace vulnerable so that you could be the sacrifice I offer to my parents. But I want you to think about that a minute. Think about when we met. You found me in that warehouse, but I'd been following you for some time. I know that you realized that I'd been following you, but I'd been following you a lot. Oh, you think I'm exaggerating? You go to the antiquarian bookstore at least twice a week. You go for the books and to find out what's new, but you also go to catch up with the old bookstore owner, Bob. He hasn't been in good health, and you used to know his wife as well before she passed. You've been friends with him for a very long time, and he knows things about you that other people don't know. I don't even pretend that I know all the things that he knows about you, but he knows a lot. You tell your secrets to him that you don't tell to other people. People like the friends that you meet up with at the bar on Saturday, where you pretend that you have an interest in their sports that you don't actually have. No, you might be interested enough to watch along with them, but you never keep up with the games when you're not around them. You don't check results on your phone. You don't have alerts telling you who's playing where or what happened. You just have nothing on your search history about, oh, I'm beginning to look like quite the stalker. I suppose I have been. I'm sorry. I say to you that I came to you in good faith, but it was easier for me to have good faith because I had done a lot of research into you. Oh, I'm sorry. I did see a lot of your search history. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. I realize that that's not my call to make. If it helps, It's not all that weird, actually. Something about being part succubus makes people want to confess to me a lot of their, um, desires. I promise you, it doesn't even rate amongst the weirdest. Certainly it's harmless. I promise I wasn't trying to invade that much of your privacy. It was only the one time when it, it, it was on your phone screen. And, I saw. Come on. I know you understand about researching a target. You do it all the time. I've seen you. And, by the way, you really do have a blind spot. Humans. The only reason I was able to follow you for so long without you knowing was because you don't pay attention to humans. All I had to do was put on a hat or position my hair the right way to hide my horns, tuck my tail into my jeans. You looked past me so many times. All I had to do was keep far enough away that my charm didn't draw you to me. You still wouldn't know about me if it hadn't been for that demon detector spell that you cast that just pointed you toward the nearest demon. Or half-demon. Sorry about getting in your way that way, though. I know that the one you were hunting was kind of bad news. But look, the point I'm trying to make as I reveal myself for the creep that I am is that I've had plenty of opportunities. If I wanted to just bring you to my parents like a lamb to the slaughter, I could have done it. I could have led them to you. You might be a demon hunter, but a family of 3 of us at once? I think that might have been a bit much even for you. I never did anything like that. I just watched you. Tried to figure out if you might have an ounce of empathy for someone if they were a demon. If I'm being honest, I hadn't quite figured it out on the day that you found me in the warehouse. But I figured my choices were still my choices. I could risk telling you who and what I was and what my situation was, or I could just contact my parents. They would have been there to help me out really quickly. But if I'd done that, they would have hurt you. And I would still be stuck in this situation where I had to choose between doing something I really don't want to do or being brought to the netherworld. So I took a leap. And at first it felt like I'd made the right choice. I even thought I kind of liked you and you kind of liked me. Even after you got away from my charms. And so it hurt my feelings when you showed me that you didn't trust me. Oh, no. Come on now. If you really had trusted me, you would have told me, hey, I'm wearing this protection. It'll make it a lot easier for us to communicate in real time without having to go back and think about my choices. Okay. Thank you. Apology accepted. And, I'm sorry I stalked you. Uh, I'm sorry I invaded your privacy. I'd like to say I'm sorry I stalked you, but, like, it did kind of end up good for me, so I'm going to work on being remorseful. Cut me some slack. I am a demon. I'm trying to do the right things, but it is in my nature to be a little bit. Yeah. You know, I am actually glad that you have that protection. I'm glad to be able to have a conversation with someone and know that their reaction to me is genuine. Even if that genuine reaction is frustration with me for being hesitant to cast my parents down to the pit of hell. Well, okay, yeah, no, that's true. My hesitation was a little less to do with casting them down to the pits of hell and the potential of me being cast down with them. And them being very, very angry with me. Look, that brings me to the next subject that I need to discuss with you. I really think that your idea for casting them down, it's a little overly complicated. Well, okay. The seal isn't complete until I put down those markings, right? Which, by the way, I know I've said this before, but having that stuff just laid out on a leather canvas is brilliant. I'm very impressed. Having a sacred circle that you can just throw down at any time is kind of clever. Oh, yeah, but anyway, if the circle isn't complete until I put down the markings in the center, do the markings have to be the last bit? I mean, why can't we just put down those first and then put down the outer ring? Uh-huh. Okay, so how long do you think it would take to put it down? Well, can't I just throw it down at the last minute, then run out and we seal it? Okay, but you're not going to be using your usual circle. This is going to be giant. So there's no reason it has to be one complete circle, does it? I mean, it could be 2 half circles or a 3/4 circle. And then we just put it together at the end. And this will go faster. I'll be able to help you roll it out. Then I go in, throw down the symbols at the last moment, run back out, and we close up that last piece. I think it's the best way to go about it. Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't just get good grades because I was charming. I did have to pass those computerized tests. I have a brain in my head sometimes. All right. Hey, I mean, as long as you've got to make an all-new giant-ass seal, could you use some help on that? Maybe I could help you make it. Yeah, actually, I do like being around you. I don't know, maybe it's the whole part where you can give me your natural reactions. It's a novelty. And also keep in mind that I have been watching you long enough to know you really well by now. Even if you don't know me. And you want to get to know me? Okay. Well, why don't we do that over making a seal together? Yeah. Probably not the most conventional date. But then getting ice cream together didn't pan out so well. uh, it can be date. You're happy about that. And that's your own reaction. That's really good to know. Hey there, cupcakes. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. One of the things I did this weekend was record a little something with Xena Alexander. To be honest, I'm not sure if it's going to be going on her channel or on her Patreon, but I will link to both in my description. Go over and give it a listen. I would like to welcome my newest patrons. There's Christopher Goldrick, Schwilliam Winter, and Steed. I like that name, Schwilliam. And of course, I would like to, as always, say thank you so much to those special bakers and pound cakes who make this possible for me to do every weekday. I say every weekday, but actually I'm going to start releasing audios on Saturdays, and I will still be doing 5 days a week. I haven't figured out which day I'm going to take off yet. Probably Monday. We will see. In the meantime, thank you to all of those bakers and pound cakes. There is a Steed and Anon. SLE makes bird joke. Dream makes bird video. I'm psychic. There's Harper Evolution, Wolf9004, Vile Miles, Succubus Slave, Malice Silo, Army Guy 007, Mr. Fabulous, Tiny the Taxman, Meryl, Inline Flaws, Mr. Rickles, Anin, Nick, Always Able, Infinite Moon, Old Bean UK, Cluebear Forces, The Swaggy Llama, Cody, Artlow, Pierce Tailish, Tombre Shuffle, and Christian Cleopa. And all of you who listen and comment and share and just are a wonderful part of this community. Thank you. I hope you will be as good to yourselves as you are to me. I will talk to you tomorrow.